Good morning, it is day 20 out of 30 of doing 333 push-ups every single day for 30 days to get to 10,000 push-ups. Now we are currently right over there. That is the amount of push-ups which I'm quite happy about. You know, it's basically 2/3, well, after today it'll be 2/3 of the challenge complete, which I'm quite happy about. I've told you before, even looking at the views and things, I know it's not the most interesting challenge for you as a viewer, but for me, I'm getting the benefit. I'm actually doing the push-ups, I'm getting the chest pump, I'm getting all the things. So, you know, it's not the worst challenge, it's quite good. I'm feeling good about it. However, potentially not the most entertaining for you. So in a way, I'm kind of want to finish this up, get the results, and then move on and make some more interesting content. Anyway, let's start. Let's go. Alrighty, first set done. Quite easy, very simple, and that's about it. I think today is the 26th, so we're starting carnivore today. Quite happy about that. Reason why I wanted to start today is I kind of wanted to give myself a good month of it. My parents are flying up, or down, to Cape Town on the 26th of June. So just to, you know, spend some time, 3-4 days, saying goodbye, things like that, and then they will drive back down with my car, and yeah, we'll fly to England. So, you know, obviously while they're here, I don't want to be on a carnivore or necessarily a diet. It doesn't mean I'm gonna, you know, go crazy. It's just, you know, I always enjoy having a beer with my father and spend some quality time. So when you have, you know, family members over or friends or anything like that, you don't want to think about sticking to a diet or, you know, training. Even though I will definitely probably go to the gym quickly, it's just an hour out of the day, but you know, you just, your focus is not necessarily on that. That's what I'm basically saying. It's more about the time that you spend. So that's the plan for this, or from today onwards. And I'm sure even in these 10 days, the results will definitely show because of the max protein that will be injected into my throat via meat. Anyway, let's go. Alright, second set done. Alright, so I weighed myself this morning, and I must be honest, but the other reason for the carnivore potentially is because of the weight gain. Now it could be because of a lot of reasons. It's not just because I went from carnivore to carbs or a balanced diet. It is because I have been slacking a little bit and giving myself a little bit of leeway when it comes to food, and just purely just because we'd go somewhere, it's the last time we're at the place, or let's say we walk on the promenade and it's the last time we're there, then we'll buy something to eat or to drink or whatever to enjoy the moment. Or you go to a restaurant and in your head, oh, it's the last time we're here, we should enjoy it. Let's have that cheesecake that they sell that we always have, you know, stuff like that. So that's kind of how it has been working. And yeah, I just realized, like, you know what, it's fine, we did it, we done it, and we will still have time for that. And to be honest, we'll have time for new memories, new places with new cheesecake and all that shit in the future, you know. I guess I told you in previous videos as well, I'm not too nostalgic, or not nostalgic, what is the word, materialist, no, not materialistic, fucking, what do you call it, what do you call when you hold on to things, like a ring, like a wedding ring that's... Treasure. No man, like a wedding ring that is something that you hold on to, like in life. That, let's say you've got an old couch from your great grandmother.
You inherit.
And you don't want to sell it because you have a what to it.
Emotional attachment.
Okay, see, I'm not the only one that forgets words. I mean, you're obviously not thinking of it, but no, it's something value. There's a value to it. Attachment, not attachment value. Sentimental, there's a word. Sentimental value. Attachment to it. Yeah, I don't have a sentimental value to things necessary as much because I do live in the now. You know, maybe when I was younger, you know, I'd be quite upset, but life just goes on, you know, and there's new memories to be made. So if you dwell on the past too much, you know, then that's it. Now, of course, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't keep your grandmother's, you know, necklace that she gave you whatever years ago. She passed away. Like, keep it, but I just don't want you to put too much power on it, you know, because some people, they can't move forward. They don't want to sell their house. They don't want to move out of the country because this was where they were born, and you know, bullshit. You fucking go and you experience life and you do things. Yes, you can hold on to it. You can put it in your bag, take it with you, wrap it around your neck if you want, but you know, go live life. So basically, what I'm saying, if there's a cheese pie or something that I love here and I haven't tasted before, fuck it, I'll find another pie. I'll find something else. There's always better things, and I'll remember about the pie that I had many times, instead of, you know, condemning myself. Well, not condemning myself, like thinking, oh shit, that's now end of my life and the era. I'll never be able to do it again. So that's how I see it. That's why I never have a problem with moving and, you know, getting things, or just moving on basically, you know. I guess it's also because when I moved to Cape Town first, obviously left my parents, and it's quite sad. I was 34, you know, I shouldn't have or felt that emotional, but you know, I was in my eyes still young. And then I left for overseas travels, and yeah, shit hit the fan, and I went through some tough times. And then I think there I just realized, because I started reading books as well, just to see if it could help me mentally. And there was a small book called Who Stole My Cheese, or Who Moved the Cheese. And that book is basically all about change, you know, how to accept it and move on. And always do these little mice would wear their trainers around their neck, always ready for when they need to move. If the cheese is finished, they put the trainers on, they go through the corridors, they find a little cheese here, a little cheese here, a little cheese here, and then boom, they find a massive pile of cheese again, and then they stay there, they finish the cheese. And always with the shoes around the neck, because it's not going to last forever. It'll also be finished, and then you have to go out and find new cheese. So, you know, and then there's also the two characters that stayed there and said they're going to wait for the cheese to come back. And unfortunately, those dudes, they didn't make it because cheese, it's not going to come to you. So life's out there. It's not, you know, it's not going to come to you. You have to go and get it. So in a way, I'm always excited to leave. I'm excited to experience new things, because it means that you're not stagnant and sitting here waiting for shit to happen, but you make it happen, you know? So that is the one thing that you can take from this video, at least, is to stop waiting for things to happen and go and get it. Get! Last set, let's go. Bah! 33, 4 sets done and dusted. Hoop. Chest looking swole, and I'm gonna have my first meal, which is mince and bacon, and then we're gonna hit the gym. Let's go. Alrighty, we are in the parking lot of the gym. I'm gonna smash shoulders today. It's gonna be a nice one. It is rainy outside, hence the little jumper. It's gonna be a good day. I think if you can tell yourself that it's gonna be a good day, then it will be a good day. Now, there might, you know, shit might happen, to be honest. This is life. But I must say, the last 2-3 days, I'm not sure if you've noticed from the videos, but I have been a little off, a little negative, and that's purely just because of my thoughts. I guess it's stress from the move and things that not necessarily falling into place, and then you put that on you, and you're like, oh, It's going to be a shit day today. Oh my gosh, another day. He's probably not going to reply to my email. We're probably not going to get the visa done. No. Negative. You know what I mean? And then most of the time you attract that, and that is what the day ends up being. So I'm positive it's going to be a good day today, and regardless of what happens, I'm going to try and take every second of the day and make it, or try and turn it into a positive, regardless of the rain, regardless of whatever. All right? Let's go. Let's have some fun. See you. Alrighty, smashed some shoulders. Not too bad. I think they're going to come out quite nicely after the carnival. And I just, like I told you in the car, I just had this weird little injection of energy, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing because I feel like I kind of found, I can't tell you where it's coming from, but found a reason again, a purpose, a truth, if you could say that. If you want to know more about that, that's why I started the podcast, Plug and Play podcast, where I just plug and play, and I just talk about real life issues and things that I believe in, my opinions and stuff. And I guess that freedom of speech and the freedom of giving my opinion and telling the world who I am, what I believe, what the standards are, and hopefully not necessarily influencing you to believe the same, but just to kind of. Because some people are just, things fly by. They don't know what's happening in the world. They don't know what's happening in their own lives. And this all comes to your body, to your physical thing. Some people have like a thyroid problem and they're like, oh yeah, that's probably why I gain weight. But you haven't done the research to find out if it is your thyroid. Maybe it's just because you're lazy. Maybe it's just because you eat a ton of food every single day. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to take that responsibility. So that's the type of things that I want to talk about and that I'm not afraid to talk about anymore. It makes me happy. So I'll see you at home. So yeah, today has been a very productive day so far. Like I said, it's all about attitude. If you set your mind, if you tell yourself that you're gonna accomplish this, and you put a list down of everything, because that's the whole point of when you feel a little bit overwhelmed, is when you there's a shit ton of things to do, and you can see them in your head, but because they're scattered around, it feels like it's a mountain. But if you write them down, even though it is potentially a mountain's worth of work, if you list them down and you see, let's say for instance, there are 15 things that you need to get done, and some of them are going to take some time. Just arrange them. You can arrange them the way you want. I obviously try and do the short ones first, like the quick, just to tick them off. You get them off, tick them off, and then before you know it, it's midday, and you've done 7 of them, and you've got 8 left, and you kind of have this momentum going. You just keep ticking them off, and by the fact that they're on the list, you don't have to think, oh, what do I need to do? So the anxiety level is gone. And you can, because everything is on the paper, or everything is on your computer, on the memo, or wherever you put it, and then you can just work from there. So, just a little hint: if you ever feel like you're struggling with time management or getting things done, write it down. Yeah, really, just write it down and then get to work. It's lunchtime now, but before I hit that, I'm gonna do the second set of push-ups. Let's go. Alrighty, so you can see here in the background there's a little squirrel and some birds and stuff. I try and keep my cats happy, so this one is actually asleep right now, but I know that the sound of the birds, and I don't know, they just enjoy it. So and while I'm working, I have my headphones on anyway, so I don't necessarily hear all of that, so it just creates a nice atmosphere in the room. So let's do this second session of push-ups, shall we? My elbows are hurting a bit, to be honest. I'm not sure why. Maybe the cold weather. I don't know. Let's see. $33. I'm doing this with these little shoes, little fluffy shoes, all fluffy inside. I mean, it's not that cold. I'm not gonna lie, it's not that cold, but it is nice to, if your feet are warm, because I'm wearing shorts. So if your feet are warm, then everything else is kind of, warm as well. It's snack time and then lunchtime. I actually forgot my snack, to be honest. I should have had a biltong earlier, and then once I've had biltong, I'm having steak 400 grams of it, which yeah, I'm quite happy being back on the carnivore. Like I said, I mean, I have no issues with it. I have meat anyway throughout my diet, a lot of it, at least 200 grams of it is protein from meat in my normal diet. But, you know, taking out all carbs, you know, that's an extra step that I don't necessarily take that often. But I felt like, you know, it's a good time to do so. I've spent 30 days doing it, got great results, and I don't mind doing it again, because yeah, it's for a bigger cause. Like I said, it's going that side, going to the UK, feeling confident, looking great, and I can pick things up from that side. I'm sure the meat is different in the UK. South Africa is like known for its braais and barbecues, meat, and you know, things like that. So it's easy. I mean, we have biltong, so easy, such easy protein. So, you know, it's easier being carnivore here. But I'll see how things are in the UK. Like I said, maybe start up with a balanced diet and then work my way up to trying it again. Plus, some of you have mentioned and asked if I can do a vegan challenge, which I said I would, but not in the near future, like not like in a month or two, maybe like 3, 4, 5 months in the future, once I've gotten my body to a position where it can handle a vegan diet, you know what I mean? And also just the move, I just want to move there, get everything settled, and once that is done, we can start doing challenges that are a bit more hectic than others, because vegan, yeah, going vegan is quite tough. I've been vegan before, but I lost a lot of weight, so I want to try this time to do it, but in a way where I can maintain and actually gain some muscle, which is a better challenge rather than just going vegan and losing weight, is to try and challenge yourself to go vegan and maintain or even potentially gain weight. And that's going to be by getting enough protein in that diet. So kind of proving to people that you can go vegan and still gain muscle, you know? So that's going to be the challenge, but not now. Alrighty, whew. That's a good one. Another 33 bites the dust, and you'll probably see me, I think Wednesday and Friday I've got an appointment. Well, not an appointment, I'm going to go for a little bit of a tan, so I might be red or blushed, if that's a word, and hopefully things will start looking better after about a week's worth of carnivore. I weighed myself this morning, 103.2, which is not ideal, you know. The goal is to be about 97 would be a good one, but 95 would be even better. You know, I think 90 kilograms is 200 pounds. So if I'm 95, I think that's 210. So, you know, anything between 200 pounds or even 195 and 210, you know, 195, 210, that is a nice little pound ratio that I feel the structure of my body, because I'm 6'2", you know, 189 centimeters, so I'm quite tall. You don't want to weigh less than that. Plus, I do have, you know, big legs. So if you count the legs into the weight and you weigh, let's say 185 pounds with big legs, then you're going to be so skinny on the top, because these things weigh a lot. So I need to compensate. So what I'm basically saying is, you can see a guy weighing 185 and potentially be the same upper size than I am at 210, but the difference between weight is the legs, you know. So I need to compensate for these bad boys. So I can't just say, oh yeah, I want to be 185 nice and lean. No, I have to be about 210 to really get a good ratio up here because of these bad boys. And I don't want to lose my legs. I like my legs. I like my calves. I like my quads. I like my hammies. I like having strong legs. It's quite nice. Anyway, let's do the last set, shall we? We finish it strong. Whew. Here we go. 33, done and dusted. Just looking swole as it should. And we are gonna have a little lunch break. Whew. I might actually, if the rain, because it's still kind of semi-drizzling, I might want to do a little set outside, but if not, we got to settle for the old indoor push-up. Let's go. Alrighty, look at this bad boy. Look at this piece of fillet steak. It's going to be cut off in nice little pieces. I'm going to have 400 grams, and my wife is going to have 200 grams. The carnivore is real. It is happening, whether you like it or not. We're a little carnivore, and we get ripped and jacked, and we're not going to look back. Unless you want to look back to check our beautiful asses, you know what I mean?
Or you could look down at these beautiful things on your feet.
She's just, excited because she bought it, and I said, no, I don't want that shit. And now I'm wearing it, so, that's how women work, Anyway, doing this, go buy some cat food because Woolies didn't have it yesterday. Buy some cat foods, find an open field. The weather doesn't look too bad, and do the last set of push-ups. Let's go. Alrighty, so I am in a little park here in Plumstead. It's kind of just around the corner from where I stay, and I thought, I'm not sure, maybe it'll turn into a silhouette when I do the push-ups because then the camera will focus on the sky. So that might look beautiful, but I thought, let's just do the push-ups here, shall we? Let's go. There you go, 34, and I was right to say that the sky was going to turn into a silhouette there, which, it doesn't matter because in the end, it's the beauty that counts more than, I would say, more than the push-ups. I mean, you can see me doing them. Again, just because I'm outside, there are cars running here, and I'm just kind of trying to quickly push through. This might be a quick session. Hopefully my chest will hold up and I don't, tired it out. So I think this second set is going to be the deciding factor if it's going to be easy. So let's go. $34. Wow. Yep, it wasn't so or as easy as I thought, but that's just part of how it goes. Let's see if I have a little pump. Not too bad, I would say. It's there, it's making its appearance, and sometimes I find some odd places. Like I said, I was just doing some shopping to get some cat food at this specific, that's why we're in Plumstead, because we normally go to Constantia Village, Pick and Pay, Woolies, but they ran out of the gravy flavor. So I thought, okay, maybe Plumstead will have it. And, lo and behold, they had it. So we got that, and then I was just driving and I saw this little open field, and I thought, you know what, let's do some push-ups here. So let's do the last 34, and then we call it a day. Let's go. Alrighty, that is it. A lovely 34, which brings our total to that number right over there, and brings us to the end of the day. Tomorrow, day 21, 10 full more days left. Let's go.